Hello friends, I am Dr. Joseph Isaac, former Assistant Professor of Clinical Psychology and writer of 4 books on psychological treatment. Today, I am going to literally shock you with certain explosive information that will definitely help you in the journey of your life. In your life, you may have to face lot of tensions, unpleasantness, frustrations, and negative emotional experiences due to problems in living. That is quite human and normal. But when that happens, don't lose your control. Negative emotions and negative thoughts can definitely pop up and trouble you, but that is okay. You should learn to psychologically manage it and relax yourself. How you manage your emotions and what strategy you choose among the myriad quantum possibilities as solutions is of paramount importance in your success. At such times of emotional turbulence, some feeble-minded people, after getting unconsciously identified with some imaginary heroes in the popular movies or serials that they have seen, go mad after dirty solutions like alcohol, marijuana, LSD, cigarettes, and other brain-altering chemicals, thinking that this will give them instant peace and solve their problem. I finally get lost in addiction and debilitating serious consequences of involvement in serious crimes, suicide, homicide, and sometimes end up in jail or mental hospitals. As a psychologist, I strongly warn you that all these activities do more harm than good and are self-annihilating and self-defeating. All these type of instant chemical solutions without examining the subconscious hidden potential mind and its intentions will ultimately fail, ruin, and slowly kill you. With the above introduction, let me come to my today's topic, the use and abuse of sleeping pills. Many people, especially the elderly, consider sleeping pills as a panacea for their night stress and life stress. Sleeping pills are widely used by people for their sleep problems. Running to a medical store for minor problems and suddenly taking a sleeping pill has now become an immediate action and a growing fashion in modern times. Modern world is drowned in the sea of stress, and many people do not know that there are scientific technologies in clinical psychology for sleep induction and stress management, and they are not even ready to wait for any mind control training or coaching for achieving relaxation. A conditioning must be made in the mind to create relaxation, to overcome stresses. They jump for instant cures, but remember, instant cures are nothing but impossibilities. They long for solutions in tablet forms without understanding the great truth that instant chemical solutions are the most damaging forms of poisoning the body and maladaptive way of conditioning the mind and managing the problems of living. The moment you get disturbed in a night's sleep due to minor hassles of daily life or beset with difficulties of falling into sleep due to the intrusion of excessive thoughts, you become restless, listless, helpless, and hopeless. And hopeless. And there is a tendency for the modern man to resort to easy chemical solutions like sleeping pills without thinking that these sleeping chemicals are killing chemicals and are great threats to their immune cells and slowly make them susceptible to serious and fatal diseases and killing them inch by inch. In actual reality, taking sleeping pills for regular use is, according to me, a form of suicide by inches. You may wonder why I choose this topic for discussion today. My choice of this topic stems from the grave concern that use and abuse of sleeping pills is now mounting at a shocking rate, not only in adults, but in adolescents and even in our precious children. This dreadful realization is not purely based on my clinical experience alone, but based on umpteen number of research data that are mounting up in the psychological field. In my long 36 years of clinical practice, I have got ample opportunity to deal with acute insomniacs, chronic insomniacs, and people who are addicted to sleeping pills. Such people came to me for taking behavior therapy without drugs and were practically crying out of helplessness for help to get rid of this chemical addiction and to solve their drug induced insomnia. All such people who took sleeping pills for temporary instant relief later end up in physical disability due to toxicity, serious neurological problem, and develop terrible withdrawal symptoms when they try to withdraw these drugs. They reach a psychological predicament of no exit, means no escape after prolonged use, and even contemplate suicide out of their helplessness. Just imagine how a simple restlessness felt in a night's sleep due to unwanted obsessive thoughts, wrongly managed with a sudden jump into chemical instant solution, end up in chemical toxicity and tolerance and a new drug addiction and life-threatening emotional and physical withdrawal reactions and drive them to an ineluctable trap of incapacitation. There is now documented evidence. There is now documented evidence based on serious researches done by experts in the field. And these research results have revealed that the use of sleeping pills is as dangerous or even more dangerous than taking cigarettes. Here, I would like to introduce you to a great expert in this field, namely Dr. Daniel Kripke, a physician and professor certified by the American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology at the University of California, San Diego. Dr. Daniel Kripke had done extensive research about sleeping pills, and his researches have been supported for over 35 years by the U.S. National Institute of Health, NIH, and Department of Veterans Affairs. The Sam and Rothstein Institute for Research on Aging and the Center for Chronobiology of the University of California, San Diego, and American Cancer Society have also supported his research. From 1966 to 1968, Dr. Kripke was a U.S. Air Force sleep researcher. His research findings had been published and summarized in his ebook entitled The Dark Side of Sleeping Pills. Dr. Daniel Kripke gives strong warning to his readers that sleeping pills can shorten your lifespan and create dangerous consequences. In this ebook, Dr. Daniel Kripke has said, within quotes, sleeping pills are hazardous to your health and could cause death from cancer, heart diseases, or other illnesses. For over 35 years, I have worked to assess the risk of sleeping pills. I have learned that sleeping pills are associated with significant increased mortality. This means that people who take sleeping pills die sooner than people who did not use sleeping pills. Close quotes. Dr. Kripke had made it very clear that the use of sleeping pills definitely increased the mortality rate and morbidity rate in people. 21 studies show that people taking sleeping pills die sooner. 21 studies show that people taking sleeping pills die sooner. They have published a study of over 10,000 patients who took sleeping pills and 20,000 masked patients who did not take sleeping pills. The patients who took sleeping pills died 4.6 times more often on average than patients who avoided sleeping pills. In their observation, sleeping pills were causing early deaths in many patients. In addition, those who averaged over 132 sleeping pills per year, where 35% were more likely to develop a new cancer. The main sleeping pills they studied were Solpidem, example, Ambien, Temazepam, example, Restoril, Isopiclone, example, Lunesta, Salaptone, example, Sonata. Other benzodiazepine drugs such as triazolam, example, Halcyon, and flurazepam, example, Dalmine, barbiturates, and sedative antihistamines such as diphenhydramine, example, Benadryl. Most of the patients in the study were taking Solpidem or Temazepam. All the sleeping pills studied were significantly associated with excess mortality. It was quite surprising to know that animal studies revealed that rats and mice, when given high doses of Salapulon, Sonata, Esopiclone, Lunesta, and as part of Sopiclone and Rameltion or Rosaram developed cancer. The age-old belief that sleeping pills might help depressed people was also questioned in their study. It is seen that sleeping pills manufacturers' controlled trials prove that sleeping pills can cause depression. Sleeping pills can never reduce depression or discomfort or any such emotional difficulties. It has been estimated by studies that the most prevalent risk of illness linked with sleeping pills was cancer. People who consume just 3 sleeping pills every 2 months tripled their risk of cancer. People who took a sleeping pill twice a week increased their cancer risk after 6 times. The risk of developing cancers of the prostate, colon, lung, and lymphoma for people just taking 2 sleeping pills in a week was higher than that of cigarette smokers. Thus it is quite evident that the so-called sleeping pills that is prescribed for sleep disturbance create more fatal diseases and death with prolonged use and create more harm than good. People who have sleep problems definitely need to get psychoanalyzed by a qualified clinical psychologist and must understand the psychopathology underlying the cause of sleep disorder. The cause has to be unearthed, not the effect. In majority of cases, sleep disorder may be manifested or caused by emotional distress or emotional pain and its accompanying negative thought patterns, which have become conditioned and hence automatic. These negative thoughts that are entangled in the patient at the quantum level is creating biological consequences and immune consequences and it must be disentangled by psychotherapy. Drugs can never do this. Drugs can never improve the quality of defenses of the patient. A new form of relaxation and sleep conditioning should be instilled in the patient to promote better sleep. Negative thoughts and obsessive thoughts that pop up and creates high frequency thought waves in the quantum subatomic world must be buffered by thought controlled technologies in clinical psychology. For any type of sleep disorder, however chronic or severe it is, self-hypnosis training Self-hypnosis training is the first and best alternative to all cooperative patients, and it can be successfully treated without any poison drugs if the patient maintains cooperation and willingness to practice the therapy regularly without gap to maintain relaxation and alpha conditioning. People should learn to develop their mind power. People should learn to develop their mind power to bypass all stresses and anguish and avoid poisonous willpower that are highly dangerous for our cellular network that cause cell death in the long run. Thank you very much.